I'm sorry for my little messy bun. I'm actually been running around everywhere today and trying to get things ready for my kiddos' school. So excuse my mess. Sometimes I know I've done videos where I look good, and there are moments like these, and I'm just like, does it really? I mean, it matters that I feel good all the time, but there are moments that truthfully the girl is not in the mood of doing anything and just it's too hot in Texas anyway. So it's a little challenging to do things. So I have been not doing live this couple of days. I've been trying to feel better. I was feeling under the weather. So I'm back and just want to see how you guys are doing, checking in. How's your midweek going? I love Wednesdays. They're my favorite day of the week. Um, and I think maybe because I was born on a Wednesday, so it's definitely my favorite day of the week. Anyway, so today I thought it was really important to bring something up that I had notice a scripture that came into my head, and these are the beautiful things about reading the Bible is that whenever you're having a tough day or whenever you want to focus on something else, a specific verse of the Bible will pop in my head, and then I'll think about it again and again and again, and then I'll start thinking, why did this verse came to play? Why did it come to my mind? um, what is the message that God is trying to tell me? So the verse in the story, and I know that you guys know this, it's about when Jesus sat down with the tax collectors on a dinner, and the Jews were looking at, I believe it's the Jews or the disciples, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. They were looking at Jesus saying, why are you sitting with tax collectors? Why are you eating with these tax collectors, with all these people? And Jesus, at the end of the day, not at the end of the day, but Jesus made a statement of, you know, who sees the doctor are sick people. And because at that time, in a way, they were sick, not knowing who Jesus is, lost. Jesus was trying to tell them, these are the people that I'm sitting with because they're the people that need me the most. They're the people that are lost. They're the people that are seeking me. So Jesus sat there and had food with them and took their time with them. Hi, God is coming soon. Hello. Hi, Katie. Hi, Kipira. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I love those words, Katie. Nice. I love those. So Jesus sat on the table and was, eating, and he didn't care. And he told them, the people that were around, the ones that they need a doctor are the sick people. And that's what Jesus was doing. Jesus was sitting with those people that, in a way, were sick. They didn't know who Jesus was. They were lost. They lost their way. And a lot of Samaritan back then had no idea who Jesus was. There's a part when Jesus is talking to a woman, a Samaritan woman, and she's telling Jesus, there's a Messiah who's gonna come soon. Do you know anything about him? Or, he's going to come and teach us all these great things. And Jesus tells the Samaritan, I am that Messiah. And Jesus was the Messiah that the old scripture talks about so much. And during this time when Jesus sat with all these people that he was being judged for hanging around, which is the tax collectors and, all those people that in a way we probably would hate now, Jesus sat with them, had conversations with them, and was trying to help them, to find the way. And then it hit me that, there are times when we feel that we are not enough for God. There are times where we feel that we don't matter, that God wouldn't even be there for us because of the mistakes that we have done. And I think it's such a beautiful story to see that in the Bible because it helps us to see that God is with us and loves us no matter what. Your mistake can ever, never, never be so big where God will turn around. You know, I talked about grace. I talked about that if you have grace and you know you feel sorry for what you did and you want to repent on what you did, and of course, not do it again, change your ways. God gives you grace. He's not ashamed. He will never be ashamed of what you've done. Grace, a lot of people have told me, well, what if it's somebody that keeps committing murders so often? Do those people have grace? It's no fair. No, they don't, because they keep committing the one thing that God wants them to push away from. So there is no grace in there. God sees their heart, and that becomes, a basically a one-on-one thing with them. So grace is important to have it. No, God will not be there, will not give grace to somebody who keeps making a mistake again and again in the sense of hurting somebody, in the sense of hurting other people, committing murder, you know, certain things, hurting little kids, if you know what I mean. There is no grace on that. That is something that when they're ready to go, the person that it keeps committing that same mistake again and again, that's something that they're going to have to evaluate with Jesus, but there is no grace in there. So, those are the things that I look at. And warm up the earth, start rapping. I wish if I had the gift for that, buddy, I would start rapping, but I'm not a rapper. So those are the things that I see, that there is, when God sat there and ate with the tax collector, when God was seen, defending the prostitutes and all this, we forget that we feel sometimes as human that God does not love us, or we get to feel that God has ignored us, or the sin that we have committed is so big that he will never forgive us, or that he has forgotten it. And I get it. I've done that. I felt that way many, many, many times. When there's a tough season, I always feel like this is a karma, this is what God is giving me, because I am no good, or I disobeyed. And but God still loves us despite that. It's not, I truthfully believe that it's not God punishing us. There's no way he can punish us. I know you have loved people, and I know that you wouldn't punish somebody that you truly, truly love. Believe in yourself and start a career. I'll think about that, okay? Thank you, though. I'll put it on my bucket list of things that I want to do, and then I'm gonna work on that, okay? But you gotta pay me some classes. Are you gonna pay for some classes for me? If you do, I'll even think about it even more. How about that? So those are the things that I want people to know, that, there is no shame if you ever felt that God doesn't love you or has turned away from you. You guys, don't forget to hit the like button, please. Don't forget to subscribe. Support your girl, please. I'm trying to get to the 100 subscribers, y'all. I have 97 so far. So if we can get to the 100, you guys are super, super awesome. Please help me out. So that's the one verse that I was thinking today. It's the fact that um, at some point we feel ashamed of ourselves and we feel that we don't matter. And God is always there, y'all. He's always there taking care of us. He's there protecting us. He's there watching over us. He's there through it all. And if you're one of those people that you feel that God is not there with you, or that he has abandoned you, first, I want you to know you're not alone. I have felt that way. We all have felt that way. And it gets to a point of our lives where it's easy to come out of that. But God still, he still walks with you through it all. There is no sin. I mean, I can tell you, as a human being, I know my limits, and I know if somebody crosses me at a certain time, then our friendship is going to be reevaluated, and I'm gonna cut ties, right? But that's not how God works. God doesn't work that way. God is still with you. He still walks with you through it all. That is the beautiful part of God. He's not human. He's not like you and me, that we cut ties with people that are hurting us. He's different. Warren, for sure. Um, thank you so much. So that's the thing that I always thought about. And I know people that out there feel that way, that they feel that they're being punished. And if your struggle is extremely hard and your burden is extremely, extremely heavy, know that it's not God punishing you. I hate that word of people keep saying God punishes you. I don't. I really, by heart, I don't think He punished people. I think we make our own choices, and within those wrong choices, God keeps meeting us in those points of helping us to get out of there. Um, I will. If you pay for the classes and I start rapping and I become a rapper, then I'll make y'all proud. I will. I will. So that's I thought it was really important that, somebody, it's if it's out there and is struggling and hurting. I thought it was a really important message. When I tend to wake up sometimes, when I wake up sometimes, I will have something in my heart that I want to share. And for a very long time, I haven't had any message to share until today when I woke up. And I thought it was pretty cool to get that message again, to wanted to share it with people. Know that despite of who you are, God loves you. And I for a long time I kept hearing people saying punish and punishment, and God punishes you, and if you don't listen, then God punishes you. Love is not punishment. God gave us the freedom of making our own choices, and if He knows that we're going to make the wrong choices. He knew that. He knows we're human. And for being human, He's not going to go and punish us for being human and making the wrong choices. Um, so, like I said, if there's anybody out there that feel they're having a very heavy, heavy day, and they feel that God has forgotten about them, and I hear you. I've been through that situation, and it's not easy. And it just, you gotta keep fighting through it. I know in the dark moments it's hard to see God's work. I get that. Um, but if your heart is still beating, then that means God's still doing work with you. That means that you're not done. That means that there's something that you still need to keep doing. I know we live in a very tough world. I hear people saying, why diseases? Why do those exist? Well, those exist the moment that Adam and Eve decided to eat the apple and sin. That's when it came, because they brought death, they brought pain, everything that God did not want it in the world, they brought it in. So no, it wasn't God. And I know somebody told me once, well, if God is so powerful, then why can He take those stuff away? Why can He just, eliminate all that and give us that perfect world again? I really think when He first did this world, He made it for us. And it was going to be, our decisions, how we were going to carry on in the world. And we chose wrong. He did everything perfect. He gave us, an earth to survive by. He gave us fruit. He gave us, everything to eat, everything that we're going to need. And they were told only to not eat from the one apple. They had a huge land of food. They had so much. They were just not supposed to eat from one damn tree. And what did they do? They ate from the tree. And it's like, you're going to go and blame God for something that it wasn't Him who did. He did wonderful things. But the human side, of Eve and Adam to choose to have that apple, it was their decision. So what did God do? Yes, God told, Adam that he would be working with his hands. He's going to be the provider. He will be the one working hard, struggling. That's what the man should do in a relationship, in a marriage. And the woman was going to experience labor, and neither one of them are easy. I always tell my husband, when I leave this world, when I'm very, very extremely old, um, when I come back, I want to be a woman, because I do think that in a way, although we give birth and it's really tough, I am not discrediting that for sure. I'd rather be a woman than to be a man, because us women, at the end of the day, we get to be at home. and in a way, not have worries like the man do with work and the stress that they carry. I do think that it can be sometimes even heavier than women. So that is my idea. This is why last time I had a live and I talked about the importance why women, should be at home taking care of their kids, and men should be the one busting their behind and working. It's important, we as women, we bring a kid into the world. We have to have the responsibility of staying at home. Now, I saw a video today of a woman saying that women should be able to grow the feeling of wanting to pursue their career, and men should be the one pushing them to pursue the career, even though they have kids. Um, you know, I am sorry, but the career that I would like to do, it is not compared to the mother that I want to be to my child. So, yes, there will be a time, a day, and a place, and a time for me to be the woman that I want to be as a career wise. Um, but when I became a mother, I had a choice to take care of my kid, and that is my responsibility. Um, this video that I saw of telling husband, the women should go and pursue what they want and go out there and do what they want. What's going to happen to the child? And I mean, like I always said, whenever I talk about these stuff, I talk about women that are in a relationship, in a marriage, and are able to do this. I don't mean, mothers that are single and they have no other choice but having to go and work out there. That is a completely different story. My mother was a single mom. It wasn't like she could go out there and pursue her career. If not, then I would have not eaten and we would have had a roof, on our heads. So no, for women that are single, yes, this is a completely different story. I mean, for people that are married, for women that are married, when the husband goes to work, it's important that the woman gets to stay at home. Now, you could live under your own means. Sorry, I'm starting a little bit. You could do that, and it's just having to learn how to budget. I know from my own experience, since I am staying home mom right now, if I want to, I can budget, and I know I can make it. I definitely know I can make it. Am I good at it? No, not yet. I'm trying to do the whole growth mindset. I'm not there yet. But it is important that your child gets to be raised by a parent. Yes, both parents are extremely important, but one person needs to go and work. That should be the husband. That's what the Bible even talks about. And the woman is the one taking care of your kids. Nobody else can take care of your kids than you. Trust me, I have heard many stories of kids being mistreated. You see things in the news, daycares putting stickers on little kids trying to put them to sleep. It's horrendous. I mean, it's a horrible situation. And this is why I say it's important when you make that choice of having kids, you got to make sure that one parent gets to be at home. And for that matter, that has to be the mother, period. I know women don't like to hear that. Now, these days, women like to be told, go and pursue your career, and then you leave your kids behind, or put them in a nanny, or put them in a daycare. And that is not what life is about. So, as I was saying, you guys don't forget to hit the like button over here, please. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Let me know what you think about that faith with God. Let me know what you think of that story when Jesus, sat with people that were different than him, and he was being judged for sitting with the tax collector, for being around people that, and as the Jews like to say, they were not good people. They were Gentiles. What do you think of that? Um, I personally, if I would have been in those places, I would have said the same thing that Jesus would have said, And it's true. The sick the sick are the only people that look for a doctor. The people that are not sick don't look for a doctor. I mean, even think for yourself, right? When you are sick, do you look for a doctor? I'm sure you do. And when you're not, then what do? You just go on about your day. That's where Jesus came. He came because there were many people sick, meaning many people lost. They didn't know about Jesus because back then, the Samaritan, the Gentiles knew very little about Jesus. And the Jews were the ones that they were told that they were the best ones and they were using their laws not the right way, not the right way. And it was, and Jesus came because he was upset at all that. He was upset that things were not working. I mean, we're not being done on how his father wanted us to, how his father wanted us to be. And I think that's when also, to change the subject a little bit, a lot of us think that the Jews are more important than us. But and the Bible constantly says this message is not just for the Jews, this message is for the Jews and for the Gentiles. That's what he's referring to because he knew that the Gentiles hardly knew anything about him. And it was important to, to spread the word. Um, there were a lot of Jews leaders, as you know, that they were the reason why, Jesus was crucified. And that right there tells you that at that time they were not ruling and they were not representing God the way that they should have been. Definitely they were not. So yes, so you guys don't forget to hit the like button. Let me know how you guys feel about Jesus. What do you guys know about him? Do you believe in Jesus? I hear a lot of people talk, Jesus is coming. For a very long time since I was little, I have heard that phrase that Jesus is coming and Jesus is coming. Yes, I do think he will come. Definitely will. Um, Now, do I think that the world is going to end? I really don't think I really don't think it's going to end the way we think that it is. But then again, I'm not an expert on the Bible. I'm just somebody who's trying to learn it along the way. And definitely, I love reading the Bible. It is very, very confusing. So if you have any recommendations on how you study your own Bible, please don't feel afraid of sharing that with me. Rama, not yet. You have not read the Bible yet? Sometimes one person asked me once, how do I start? I really think that just starting in the New Testament, it's really, really important. Just because it's a little bit more clear when you read the New Testament than the Old Testament. The Old Testament it's very scary. When I first read it, constantly talks about punishment and punishment and punishment, whoa, 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 again and again and over again. So I was really scared. Um, True to read the Quran. Okay, I see what you're saying. So honestly, I recommend anybody who wants to start reading, just start in the New Testament. It's more simple. It's I feel like it's more loving in a way than the Old Testament. The Old Testament it's very scary. So I definitely recommend you do read the Old Testament. Now, for a while, what I kept doing I was reading the New Testament and then I was studying it and studying and overthinking it. But then now I just read it. I write how I felt about it. And if I didn't understand it, I just keep moving on. I know that whatever you're meant to read in that time, that it makes sense is because it's a message that is to be given to you. It is something for you to learn that it's important for whatever situation you're in at the moment. Um, Roman, I love educated people. Oh, me too. We're in the same page. So and I keep reading until you know I- so I just keep going, and whenever I know that I'll be done, I'm gonna come back to it and I'm gonna read it again, and it's probably gonna make sense to me um again. Now I have used GPT and I know I have gotten some backlash on GPT, but because I'm the person that I like to ask questions, scholars time, I mean, something like a scholar kind of could explain it to me, and I don't know one. So I do rely a little bit on GPT, not always, but I tend to do that. What do I think about life after death? I do think that it does exist, Raman, to be honest with you. I'm actually reading a book about that, and I have listened recently to a few podcasts, but I do think that there is life after death. Diamond, how are you? I am very good, Diamond. How about yourself? You guys don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Show support to your girl, please. But yes, Raman, I do believe in life after death. I think it's in a beautiful way. It's beautiful that experience that they get to have. Um, I feel like it's kind of like a reset, like God letting them know, hey, listen, you forgot what your purpose was. This is what life is about. They get to be given all that love there, and they get to come back, and they have the responsibility of sharing it with the world. What I think it's a responsibility. I just, the book that I'm reading, it's about a doctor who maybe you have heard her story because her story is very well known, but she's a doctor. And, she went through like a kayaking kind of situation, and then she lost her life doing that kayak. And then I believe in her, when she crossed over during that time, she was told that when she came back, that her son was going to die when, I believe he was going to be like 21 or something like that. And her kid at that time was very young, so she truly did not think that was true when she came back. I think she was dead about 30 minutes or so. And they thought at that point she wasn't gonna come back because she'll have brain damage from being gone so long, but she ended up surviving. She did not have a brain damage. But I'm reading her story and all the lessons that she learned. And I wish, to be honest with you, something that really stood out for me yesterday, it's that we all live in hope that God exists, but we don't live like a for sure deal that God exists. And I think that is so true. Whenever we go through a hard moment, we hope that God is there with us. We hope that God is watching us. But that is saying we hope that Jesus exists. We hope that God exists. But we're never for sure. We're never walking with that security, with that blanket. We believe that tomorrow the sun is going to come out. We believe that we're breathing air. We believe all these things. Why is it so hard for us as a human being to believe that God exists? And I think that it's beautiful people that have had NDEs that have been able to go back and experience that love, because we forget that when we come to this world. We forget that love that we have from God. We forget that our mission is to love one another and to be for each other, one another. At the same time, it's a little hard for any of us that have not experienced that near death experience. And I wish I could feel that way again. I wish I knew all those feelings that they felt and be able to come back. It's just, I don't know. That's just what I think. But I do 100% believe in near death experience. As a matter of fact, my mother had one, not as specific as meeting Jesus, but she had had an accident, and she saw her body uh, getting into a train, and then the train just taking off super, super fast. And in that train, um she was asked to get out of the train, I believe, something like that, and she got off the train, but she didn't want to get off. She wanted to stay in the train. She knew that she needed to get out, but she wanted to stay so bad. So I think part of her kept thinking maybe, she's still not done with her mission and she's still supposed to be here. Hi, Kara. How are you doing? Where are you guys tuning in from? Sorry, I forgot completely to ask that. Where are you guys tuning in from? Please let me know. Also, don't forget to hit the like button over here and the subscribe button over here. I think there's over here. I've seen it on that side, but I'm not sure if it has changed. But yes, so I do believe in the near death experience. Kira, good, thank you. You're in the UK. Oh my goodness, Kara, that is so beautiful. I've been wanting to go visit the UK. That is definitely on my bucket list of visiting Europe. So I'm very much hopeful that I get to do that next year. I know my family and I were supposed to be heading uh, to Italy next year on the summer. So I'm really excited about that. And hopefully we can hit the UK and get to see that. Let me know any recommendations that you have of places that we must visit. Please let me know so I can put it on my bucket list. And my friend lives in, oh, really? Oh my God. I want to go there so bad. That's my daughter's dream, and we are giving it to her. So we are saving little by little so we can, give her that dream of being in Italy. But yes, I hear it's beautiful. So I'm definitely excited. I should visit near Houston. Really? Okay. I'm definitely going to write that one down so I can make it a bucket list and visit all these places. But yes, so that is one thing that I do believe 100% in the near death experience. Now, a lot of people do have learned, when moving on, when they go as a life experience, they realize that they have a choice of staying or leaving. And they have opted to stay, or God tells them that it's not their time. And when I hear things like that, it also makes me see that even till the end, even to the last breath that we take, some of us get to have that choice of staying or leaving. And a lot of people, they choose to stay. Obviously, they don't move on. And a lot of people that do choose to come back, they come back. Sometimes God tells them, even though you want to stay, you can't stay, you need to go. Oh, also, York. Okay. Oh, really? Okay, that's two places then. I'm definitely going to keep those down. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Thank you. So yes, so I feel like we even have a choice of whether we want to stay in heaven or come back. I like to believe that a lot of people that I have known that came to my life that are no longer physically here had made that choice of staying in heaven and not coming back. Really? Okay. That's interesting. Do you know why do they go crazy about, like, what is it, like a spiritual thing, or what is the reason of people going crazy for it? So give me you guys a minute. I'm trying to get a charger. Nevis, can you bring me one of the chargers from the cell phone, please? Like super, super duper fast. So that's my input on near death experience. And like I was saying, today in the morning, I woke up with a feeling that, oh, okay. Okay, I see what you're saying, Kira. I'll get one of those as well when I get there. So that's one thing that I woke up today in the morning having that feeling of sharing with everyone, that if you have ever felt that, the God is not with you, or the God will think that you are not important because of, the mistakes that you have made, it's not what God wants you. Sorry, you guys, I have to flip you guys around. Sorry, I just completely show y'all my kitchen. Give me just a minute. Holy moly, holy moly, holy moly. Holy moly, holy moly. Okay. Um, so, sorry, you guys, I'm like trying to make this connection here to my phone. So how you guys doing today? What are you guys up to today? I know it's Wednesday, and like I said, truthfully, I love Wednesdays. It's my favorite day of the week. Sorry, you guys. What state are you from? I'm in Texas. I'm in United States, Texas. It's extremely, extremely hot over here. I don't know if it's hot over there where you are, but it's extremely hot here. I think it's about 100 degrees. I'm not sure. I love Texas, but the heat is extremely, extremely rough. We just recently came from Colorado. It was a beautiful weather. So if there's anybody here from Colorado, I envy you. You got a gorgeous weather. But no matter what, I love Texas. Oh, yes. Well, Texas, it also gets like that too. It's really hot, and then sometimes will rain, and then will come hot again. So and then it gets extremely humid. Whereas you can see the hairs, they get so freezy that no matter what product I wear, my hair just goes bunkers, especially since I have curls. They tend to go really, really crazy. Really crazy. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. I definitely want to know, what is your perspective about God? Where do you stand with Jesus? Are you mad at him? Do you feel that, he has forgotten you? Do you feel that he has walked away from you? Let me know. I definitely want to know what's your perspective with that. Um, and where do you stand with God? Please let me know. Like I said, I had woken up with that feeling of that message from God when he sat with his collectors and people, and he was being judged. And that statement of him saying, the sick needs the doctors. And I thought that was really a really good message. Okay. Thank you, Kara, for joining. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, please, and definitely share the videos. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. So that is where I am. So you guys let me know, how do you feel about God? Um, like I said, I was looking at a video of somebody, a young lady saying that husbands should be pushing their wives to pursue their dreams, to go and get what they want, and have them grow a career. uh but definitely I think that the young lady that I'm speaking about forgot the fact that when you're a mother, that's why you become a mom. That's what you dream of, being a mother, or you had a blessing. That means you have a responsibility. Now imagine I would be my daughter be 2 years old, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go and pursue my career now. She's two, then that means that her life doesn't matter. There is a time and place for you to pursue what you want to do, but to leave your kid behind, that is not an okay thing to do. That is not a career. That's just you being selfish and you wanting to, you know, think that somebody else has to pay for your responsibility. And that is I cannot bear to think of the idea of having my to leave my kid behind so I can go and pursue my career. I honestly could not. And like I said before, I don't this is not for women that are single. They're single moms that they have no choice. This is just for somebody who is within a relationship and within a marriage, that I don't agree with. I definitely don't agree with. But I want to know, how do you guys feel about it? What do you guys feel? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think that women should go out there and pursue a career and leave their kids behind? What do you think? Please let me know. Share with me what your thoughts are. And also, while you guys are sharing your thought, please do not forget to hit the like button and also subscribe. Show some support. But let me know, what do you guys think about that? Should women stay at home, take care of their kids, or should women, when they have kids, should be going out there and pursuing their career? What do you think about that? Like I said, and I have told many people that I don't believe that women should be going out there when they're moms, their kiddos are small, and pursuing a career. Maybe when a child or the person is a teen, yes, by all means, go ahead and start doing your own thing. But when your kiddos are small, your concentration solely should be on your kids. That's it. There is no buts. There is no, but my life also matters. And no, there is none of that. Alrighty, you guys. So I'm gonna get out from here from this live, and I'm gonna join back again in a little bit. But thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. I appreciate every single time that y'all step in my life. And I'll see you guys in a bit. I'm gonna go finish dinner and then I'll get back in here. Bye, y'all.